You are the world's greatest person this week. Well, 4.8, you could be the world's greatest person for a very
Oh,
long
the
time.
theory is perfect. Then you have to see the practice, So,
Silly Conversations, the podcast. Your host, Denzel Mills.
First of all, podcasting people. I've got another person. She's super interesting because she does many, many things. And she's going to tell us a little bit about the things she does. And specifically, all these things about influencers and those kind of people like me, because I think I'm an influencer of sorts. Of sorts. So Marianna is going to tell us a little bit about her, and then we'll just take it from there. So Marianna, welcome.
okay, thank you very much, Denzel. And what would you like to do? What would you like to know from me?
Well, first of all, tell the podcasting world, why do you speak so many languages? How many languages do you speak?
I speak 5 languages.
5 languages. 5 languages. Now, it's a good thing this is via Teams, because if she was close to me, I would kill her. Somebody who speaks 5 languages basically makes me very, very jealous. And tell us the languages you speak.
So I speak Italian, of course, because I'm Italian. I speak Spanish because I'm living in Spain since 20 years. I speak French because I've studied in France, and English, of course, because I've also studied in England and in Germany. So I'm German.
5 languages.
Yes.
I'm struggling still after millions of years living here. And this woman speaks 5 languages. Which is your strongest? Not your mother tongue, but which would you say is your strongest language?
The strongest is Spanish.
Okay, because the very fact of living here, etc.
Yes.
And then what you do for your job, what is your job? Because it's also very interesting.
Okay, I'm a community manager for Secotech France.
Mm-hmm. And explain to people what this community manager is, because generally I have some people who are actually older than me, believe it or not, that people can be older than me, and they have no idea about these things of TikTok and new technologies and community managers and influencers. So explain a little bit about that.
Okay, so my job consists in managing the social media of the company, or in the country we are managing, so France in this case. In my case is France. And the social media that we have are TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So these are the social media more used in the world. So that's why we are managing this kind of medias. I'm also managing the affiliation program for this country. So that means that I am searching for influencers who help us to give visibility to our products and to our brand through social media.
When you talk about an influencer, what would you say is the definition of an influencer? Because people use this term a lot. So what would you, in your definition, what would your definition of an influencer be?
So influencer is a person who has a good visibility on the social media. So he has a good community, great community, and is a person who can give visibility to our products through his image and his content, because they are created a special content for us. We are asking them to show our products, and every influencer has a different style, of course. So they present our product through different styles as well.
But an influencer, because a lot of people have this idea that an influencer is like a young person, I don't know, whatever, from 14 to maybe 25 or 30, etc. But could an influencer be any age? Not for specifically your products, but a person as an influencer? Could it be somebody who's at any age who could be an influencer?
Of course, we have influencers from for all ages, from 18 till 70.
Like me.
Like you, not so old. Old.
Exactly. Okay.
But everybody can be an influencer.
So imagine, how would you coach me? Imagine if I said, oh, Marianna, I want to be an influencer. I'm tired of
Yeah, you can.
language classes or teaching English classes. What would I need to do to get myself into influencer category?
You have to create, first of all, good content and maybe be different, trying to search in something different from what is online, because now you have everything. So try to create something comic or something.
This is me.
It's your
This is,
job.
this is me. How many English teachers have you had in your life?
I had a lot.
And how many English
But
teachers fit in?
any English influencer teacher.
So at least I'm on the first step of getting into the influencer there. Okay, so the craziness is there.
Yeah, so you have one good point already
One
on your
point.
favor.
Okay, 1 point. You listen to the internet world. I'm already on the 1 point, on
You
one
are-
step
so
on the ladder. Okay.
You are almost on.
So then you said you have to create good content.
Yes.
Again, imagine I'm somebody who has no idea apart from just being different. So
Okay.
so I have one part. How would you coach me? Imagine if I hired you as an external person. How would you coach me to help me make that content? What would I need to do, or how would you coach me?
So you have to create the content. The content you are creating is depending of your community.
Depending on your community.
Depending on your community. So to who you want to show your content. Of course, you cannot show your content to everybody. So you have to have people interested in your content.
Okay, so we have people who's interested in my content. Now,
Yes.
as somebody who's experienced my content, what age range would you say my content would fit? If you had to define it into a range or age range, or maybe a type of person. I mean, I do everybody, sort of.
Depends from 20, 25 till 60, 65.
That's my range.
I knew.
That's my range. That's my range. I'm right there now. So that's two things I'm doing good. Weird content. I got the age range.
Perfect.
Maybe I shouldn't say weird. Interesting. That's the word. Interesting content.
Great.
And
Great.
the age range. What else am I missing? What's the thing am I missing?
The kind of content, what kind of content. So it depends. For example, nowadays, the content which are more seeing are the reels. So you have to create good reels who can capture the attention of your followers.
But reels. So these are the kind of automatic, like the vertical video that you do,
Yes,
like with your
yes.
phone, etc.
Because at the beginning, one of them, the people on Instagram, for example, they were using nice picture, so super nice picture, very well dressed, the colors, amazing landscapes. But now what is working more are the reels, because you want to see what they are offering you, not just an image. So
But
you
the
want
reels
to see
are more sort of day-to-day reality things rather than
reality
Hollywood
things.
type
Yes.
images.
No, but something more real is what is functioning now, because people likes to see what is real, your day by day, what something's true. Because on social media there are a lot of lies, a lot of fake things, fake pictures, everything generated by
AI.
AI. You don't know anymore what is true and what is not true.
So then I start doing these reels of super fantastic, interesting, but funny and attracting content. So I start doing this. Then how do what other things do I need to do then to try to capture people's attention? For example, would I pay? I don't know if they do pay for adverts or things.
Pay to make promotion. Maybe if you at the beginning, of course, is not easy. So you have to promotion your reels.
Promote your reels.
You have to promote your reels. And for example, TikTok is a social media which is growth a lot in the last year.
But you know,
unbelievable.
I've never used TikTok. I don't even have an account. Okay,
Doesn't matter.
that's good.
But
That makes me feel much better now because people
it
TikTok
doesn't matter
this.
because TikTok, maybe you can upload a video and can become viral.
So you can
Not like Instagram. Instagram nowadays is more difficult, but TikTok still have you can still have a chance.
So for the podcast, even though it's only audio, I could still open a TikTok account and upload reels or
Yes.
okay.
You can start to upload, and then of course, if it's something that you want to continue and you want to continue on this road, you have to pay for for promoting.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But otherwise, I know people that started to upload videos like that, and then they had a lot of a big community in such a short time without promotion. It depends. Sometimes it's not easy to understand why, because social media are changing so fast, and but it can be easy to become viral.
Yes, but I understand this. But the thing is, I think I don't know if I would like so much fame. No, okay, maybe.
Or maybe yes, you don't know. Maybe yes.
I don't.
You never know, because then when you go on the street, nobody maybe knows you. So it's only just online
famous in Japan rather
it's
than
only online fame, So you can go to the gym without nobody stop you.
Now you're using the wrong term. I go to the gym. I haven't been to the gym for a long time. The gym is a kind of constant thing in this.
Okay,
this
you can
podcast.
go to the supermarket.
Supermarket, yes. Supermarkets, I can go. I could go to the supermarkets and buy 2 10-kilo bags of potatoes, and this could be like my gym exercise.
Oh, this is a good exercise.
And then just eat the potatoes as well.
Yeah, perfect.
Over the next few weeks.
Twice in one.
And this is the thing which I think is very interesting, because you said, and I still think it's weird, and you have all these 5 languages, but then you are responsible for the influencers in France. So you're Italian, speaking Spanish every day, obviously good level of English, but then you're working generally in Spanish and French, specifically with French, every day.
Yes.
Don't you get confused sometimes? Or maybe like if you're working with younger influencers in France, I don't know, with the local expressions or trending phrases and expressions, does it take you a little bit of time to learn those, or you get very used to it because of
now I'm used, because the language is always the same, there's nothing very different, even for the youngest influencer I have, so there's no big difference.
And then what would you say is the difference then between culturally? Because this is good, because you can say, okay, you understand people who do TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, Italian, Spanish, and the French, and even a little bit of German. But if we take the 3 main languages that or people you can understand, what do you think is the difference between each culture when they produce something? Not necessarily for your company, but in general.
To be honest, in Europe, the content is very similar. On the France, for France, on French side, they like also humor, like in Italy.
Okay.
So, and I have a few of them that are creating a nice content, funny as well. So not a bored one where they are explaining only the products.
Yeah.
They are funny because, for example, in Italy, we have the same films. The same film has been made in Italian and in France, but from different actors.
All
so
right.
the story is the same. And once I've seen the same film in French and in Italian, and it was really funny because we have a lot of films that are made. The story is the same, but made from a most famous actor for every country.
So they take the actual storyline from the French film or the Italian film,
exactly.
and then
they just making it. So sometimes the humor for France and from Italy is almost the same.
Okay.
So that's why also the content is not very different for Europe, for the
Yeah.
country of Europe, to be honest.
All right. But then which country do you think people are a little bit more serious or intense when they're doing? Because like you have the ones here in Spain, and then obviously you watch the ones American or English speaking ones, and then you've got France, which is for work, and then Italy, which is native country. Is there someone where you think, like I said, people take it too serious? Like you said, the Italian and French are similar, and there's like a little bit of humor that they like to
As
involve.
for Spain as well, and Portugal as well. So for the count, I know for the job I'm doing, because of course I'm following also the other social media for our company, is quite similar.
All right. Imagine, okay, we'll use a conditional here. If you found yourself, or you choose to change your job and you decide to work for yourself, would you become an influencer, or would you set up a company, acts as a consultant for influencers? So which would you do? Consult and influence online, or be the person behind and help other people become more successful? Which one would you choose to do?
I will choose to help people to become more successful, because I don't like to show me and show my life, or to be on the social. Even my social media, I'm not using that so much, because I don't want to show my life,
Well, there you are. You have a contract now. You can be my what would you be? You would be like my social media manager or something like
nice.
that.
Yes, social media manager.
That would be the title, yes?
Yes, exactly.
So when I start to do this thing properly with
Let me know.
like a real professional, I'll phone you and say, listen, time to leave work, because we're going to be superstars.
Wow.
We'll divide everything 50-50. That's the way I am. So we'll divide everything 50-50, understanding that the first 15 years could be zero money.
So I don't know if I'm interested, to be honest.
But it's the challenge. That's what you like.
Yeah,
the challenge.
The challenge is always good. Yes,
exactly. So that would be the cool thing. And then the other thing is as well, when you're not doing this, because when we started having classes, and then we had a few breaks for holidays and work commitments and things like that. But I remember you were telling me that you like all these action activities, just like me. You're like an action woman. You're like an action woman. I remember you said to me you did kites. Was it surfing or kites? Windsurfing. Yeah.
And also a bit of surfing.
How long have you been doing this?
Windsurfing, I've been doing since 15 years.
All right, yeah.
And surfing also, but surfing, I was not surfing so many hours as windsurfing. I was windsurfing more.
And then between the two, you know what happened? I just had the most stupid question that came into my mind. And I stopped myself, but I'm going to ask the question because it's live. So my question that came into my mind was, the question was,
I'm scared.
No, but when you hear the question, you're going to realize how stupid it was. The question was, the question was going to be, what's the difference between surfing and windsurfing?
And then I don't answer to this question.
I know, that's why I stopped
Come
saying.
on.
But that's why I stopped, because I realized that's a stupid question.
Windsurfing.
Yes. And this is the person you're going to be the manager for as an influencer in the years to come.
I really do think about it.
But doesn't this happen to you that sometimes you're talking and then your mind has the question or something, and then you realize before you ask it that this is a very stupid question, but sometimes you still ask the question.
Yeah, no, but sometimes I'm lucky because I stopped before, because in my mind say, what are you thinking? Because I'm thinking to other things, and then I don't know why
that was a very stupid question. What's the difference between surfing and windsurfing? That is a very stupid question, but you never know. Somebody.
You never know. No. There is people who is asking.
There are people. That, somebody out there might be just thinking, I just need to check if the difference is the wind. And apparently it is. And then what other activities do you do? Because you told me you're quite an active person as well, yeah?
Yeah, I usually training 4 times per week.
For 1 minute, 4 times a week.
Times a week, yes.
Because I know I know a little bit about your life. So where do you find the time?
I find the time because my daughter is making synchro
She's
swimming,
doing synchronized swimming.
synchronized swimming,
Hmm.
and she's training 2 hours 3 times per day, 3 times per week,
So this
three
is a
times a
lot,
week.
though, I think.
Yes. So while she's training,
Hmm.
I have 2 hours and I don't have nothing to do. So in these 2 hours, I go to the gym that is exactly up above the swimming pool,
Hmm.
and I train there for 2 hours as well.
Do all the parents go? So it's
No,
the
they
same.
go home.
Oh, well, because it's relatively close to where they train, yes?
Not all of them, but they don't want to stay there, so they go home for 1 hour and then they come back.
All right, okay.
But I prefer to stay there.
But
And
are
train.
there any parents who do the same as you, who go up to the gym and then do some activity?
No,
You see, because you're a genius. You're just like a super person.
because last year I was waking up at 6 o'clock or even before to
But
train
6 o'clock
at 6.
is normal.
No, but I was training at 6 o'clock. Sorry.
Okay, so 6 o'clock.
So
Now you do
I
know.
woke up at 5:30,
Okay.
and the training was at 6.
Now I imagine your training, because I have told you that I have been to the gym a few
Yes.
times at 6
Yes.
or 6:15 in the morning.
Yes.
And I do my own thing, not with a trainer and somebody shouting at me and telling me to do it again. And I know probably that your training is the next level.
My training, I was training CrossFit, so
Yeah, that's very
it's
hard.
quite hard, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like, but CrossFit training are quite hard.
And you pay somebody to basically shout at you and tell you to keep going
I was paying them, yes.
when you want to cry. You know, when
and
you
it was not so cheap.
I know I would have an argument if I'm there and somebody says, uno más, te puedes hacer uno más. I'm sure I would have an argument. Say, yo no puedo hacer uno más. You know, I'm sure there'd be like a discussion.
And there was more than one. Was
Exactly.
3 more,
When
5 more.
When I say stop, my body says stop. Don't tell me I can do more. And then you do the training in the CrossFit, etc. You're doing the windsurf and things. Your daughter does synchronized swimming. How did she get involved? Was it something that she was just good at swimming, or she saw it on television, or?
No, she saw on television, and last year, we told her, what kind of sport do you want to do? And then she told us swimming. Okay, so we bring her to the swimming pool, and she had like 2-3 months swimming.
Right.
And then one day she came home and she said, I don't want to swim there. I'm boring. I don't like. I want to do other things. We said to her, you need to do a sport. So choose something. And so she told us, yes, I want to do this I've seen in the television where they are dancing on the water.
Mm-hmm.
So we put the video. Yes, I want to do this.
All right.
Okay, so I searched for a school,
Mm-hmm.
and I found this in Paterna.
Mm-hmm.
And they make like a test for her because she's the smallest, because she's the youngest, because she's 7. Last year she was 6.
Okay.
And all the other girls are 9, 10.
Right.
So she had to do a test for her, and yes, it was okay. And now she's in the team.
But then, she actually is in the team which does competitions as well.
She will have first competition in February.
I think in the synchronized swimming they do pairs and then in groups.
Yes, now she's doing in a group. There is a big difference because she's 7 and the other are 11, but are big, are very big. But yeah, she likes and she's very happy. So perfect. Mm-hmm.
And she's got this activity in February 2025. I suppose they're going to intensify a little bit the training. Does it not worry you as a parent that maybe they may over intensify the training because she still has school and everything? Or do you think the trainers have a good balance?
I think it's a good balance, because sometimes if she has to do extra training, maybe they are doing on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And then if she has to train 2 hours on Saturday as well, then she has all the day to see friends, for other activities,
And do you think doing this activity has helped a little bit maybe in discipline or the way she thinks or the way she She's only 7. You're saying she's only
Yeah,
7.
but I think yes, because also she's a very sociable girl, since she was very little. But also I think it's very good to stay with other girls who are bigger than her and related with other little girls who are not the same of her class at
Yeah,
school,
so she has to be mature a little bit because the older ones, even if
And
it's only
then
5 years
what I
older.
like is she has to work in a team. So, and this part is very special because they have to do everything in a team. This is something nice, I think.
Are you a team person? Are you a team player?
To be honest, it depends. I've never played
Don't sit
in
on the
teams.
fence. Yes or no? Are you a team player?
It depends sometimes.
That's still sitting on the fence. I'll go first. Ask me the question.
Are you a team player?
No.
I knew.
No, I mean, the thing is, I used to do things like, play basketball and these kind of things. I used to do athletics as well. But when it comes to work, even though I've worked in management training in Britain and we talked about working in teams and developing people and all these kind of things, I used to like to do my training courses alone because I had a thought process and a way of thinking. But yeah, I don't really think I'm a team player, to be quite honest. It's not the thing you say when you go for job interviews and things like that. The reality is, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't say I'm a team player. I'm a very good helper and I will go and organize and do. But a team player, no. And a manager of a team of people, I wasn't very good. But that's another story. And then in terms of like your activities, when like the family activities, etc., what kind of holidays do you like as a family?
Our holidays are also very full of activities because we have a camper van. And usually
Stop.
What happened?
Just like my student, Maria, her and her husband, they have a camper van.
Ah, yes, you told me.
Yes. Tell me a bit about, I don't know, I'm getting excited. I shouldn't be getting excited about a camper van. I don't think it's normal. But anyway.
It's very nice. Now we are very used to have our camper van and to spend our holidays on it. It's a very nice experience, not only for us, also for our daughter, we think, because we are visiting place and seeing place from other side.
So when traveling with the camper van, because I've been told that in Spain, it's not very well... It doesn't have very many places for camper vans. They will say like places like France and Germany and Holland, etc., are much better. But I'm not too sure. Like I said, it's just hearsay. No,
there are places. There are a lot of places. And for example, there is an app. And through this app, you can... there are many places where you can go for free.
One thing, sorry, it's very important, people, because you talk to most Spanish people and they'll say app. And I'm telling them, it's an app. App. It's short for application. That's why we say app. And it was nice. It was nice that you said there is an app. Thank you very much.
And it's very good because you can go to places completely for free. And sometimes you can find places exactly on the beach where police is not coming.
But then in terms of the day-to-day, do you do a lot of planning? Is it necessary maybe for... Okay, imagine me, Mr. Not experienced in anything. And I'm going to go and travel in a camper van. I'll have to find some friends. But anyway, I find some friends.
Okay, you have a friend.
I find some friends. I pay them money. I find some friends. And then I go in a camper van. Would it be better for somebody like me who's never done it before to plan every single thing? Or you still think you could have that little bit of freedom to roam around with the camper van?
So if it's the first time for you, so what I recommend you is to plan your trip before. So I want to stop, for example, you have to go to France. So you can plan to stop in 2 cities and design your route.
Right.
Basically. And then when you have decided the place where you want to go, then you can check through this app where you can sleep, or you can stop to sleep. Maybe you can go 2 or 3 days in a camping where you have all the comfortable. So you have toilets, you have restaurants, you have everything. But if you have your camper van, then you can cook. You have everything inside. So
but I suppose...
sometimes we go to the camping just for the facilities of the camping.
But I suppose, and this is the thing about the languages though, traveling around Europe, and maybe you're in parts of France where, it may be a small village and nobody speaks English or Spanish, but you've got the language, or you go to Germany, or obviously Italy as well. And I suppose that opens many, many more doors to access things, and we're not talking about the recommend a good restaurant, etc., but those kind of things only local people know. And if you can communicate with them, kind of gives you a much wider opportunities, the very fact that you can communicate with them and build up a relationship, and they may give you information that maybe you wouldn't normally find on the app.
This is true. Yeah.
So maybe what I need to do, apart from find some friends to go on well, first of all, find some friends, get a camper van, but probably before that, maybe I should need to learn a few more languages, and that will help me.
You are lucky because finally you speak Spanish and English.
Well,
so
Spanish. You're being too kind now.
Okay,
now you're being too kind.
And you are in English with speaking Spanish, and there are not so much, believe me.
Well, yeah, that is true. So
the language is good to know a lot of languages because, as you say, when you go in the other countries, you can meet people, local people. They can give you tips, because in France is the same as in Italy. People are not speaking other languages.
Don't speak.
Don't speak other languages, so they speak mostly their language.
Yeah.
Maybe now the youngest know.
But also, because remember we've had this conversation before, so now it's going to go public. Maybe if I went to Italy, I could cook one of my famous pasta sauce for an Italian.
Are you sure?
I'm a confident person.
You're very confident. Very confident.
I can do my famous Italian pasta sauce.
Try?
And I'll put people into context, okay? Because I remember I was telling Paola, who's normally in this class, and Marianna, that when I lived in Manchester, I used to play basketball. And I used to have a lot of Italian and Greek friends, etc. And I remember there was like an Italian woman that, she was really attractive. And then one day, I invited her to my house and I made a pasta sauce, okay? Even now, Marianna's face is still saying the same thing. But at that time, it was just like, no, bad mistake. No, stupid idea.
Never do this.
But I thought it could have, to be quite honest, she's never ever spoke to me ever again or phoned me. And that was like well over 30 years ago. But I still think I still got that technique. So with my camper van, traveling around Italy, I think I could entertain the locals with...
You can do it. You can entertain with a lot of things, but maybe not doing pasta. This is my suggestion.
Oh, I've got it. You remember we talked about trying to go viral on TikTok?
Yes.
I can...
Maybe this is a good thing.
English teacher makes pasta for Italians.
Yeah, maybe it's something that can become viral. This you're right.
Or maybe I just need to leave the country.
Probably. But after this, you can.
But I don't know. I think I could do a good job. Maybe that's going to be one of my challenges. I said I would do it in your company and have all the Italian people who work in your company try my pasta sauce. And I still think
you have to do, and they have to try.
I still think I want to
try.
I'm going to put the challenge that day to myself and do it for everybody. And then the internet will shake with the repercussions. I think we may actually video it because people may think if I did it and then I gave the results just on the podcast, people may think, oh, I'm inventing things. And I never, ever, ever invent things on the podcast. Never. Okay.
This is your good, I don't know, your highlight.
Exactly.
This is your highlight.
Exactly. So I think if I actually did a live cooking, then it could be connected to everything, live broadcast. Things will stop, metros and trains.
And what kind of pasta would you like to do?
I would just do the basic Italian sauce. I'm not arrogant.
Which is the basic for you?
Basic Italian. Oh, you see, now I have to speak online. I have to speak online and other Italian people are going to be listening. Okay, I'm going to be brave now. I'm going to be brave. So, first of all, I think the basic thing is getting the right tomatoes. And sometimes in some of the stores like Aldi and Lidl, when they have like their Italian weeks, the Italian tomatoes in the can or the tins are much different from
Of
the ones
course.
we normally buy here. We'd have to wait for this Italian week, etc., for me to get some of the Italian tomatoes. That's the first thing. Now I'm getting nervous now because I still have to do the explain.
Then continue.
Then I would probably use maybe just some spaghetti, a nice fine spaghetti, because it is a demonstration. But I'd maybe just use some nice fine spaghetti, number 5, nice and thin.
Yes, good.
Which would be quite good. Oh, good. Internet world. Did you hear that?
Sorry, one question. What kind of pasta are you using usually?
There is... Oh, I always buy the pasta, never the... which is the famous one?
The Barilla.
No, I never buy this one. I buy... Is it... I can't remember the name. I just know the package.
Garofalo.
No. It's I should go and get it, but anyway, I don't know if I've got some, but I should go and get it. I always buy the pasta which is naturally dried. Okay,
but it's Italian pasta.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Okay.
I mean, you're talking about a man who's trying to impress the Italians in the world.
Just to be sure.
Okay. Then, so I'll put a little bit of oil in the pan, a little bit of finely chopped onion. Okay. And just let it simmer until or cook until the onions become a little bit translucent. Okay. Now, I like garlic. So I'd actually get some crushed garlic and just put it in the pan very quickly. And then I'll put the tomatoes in. Okay. Salt and pepper. Now, sometimes I used to be a bit heavy with things like basil, albahaca. Basil? Yep. Yes. But fresh. So I'd probably just use that at the very end of the cooking, just to kind of, a little bit of color, etc. But let it simmer. I did forget that if I had some white wine, I'd put some white wine in as well.
White wine? When do you put the wine?
You see, now I'm getting interrogated on my own podcast. Okay, I would put the white wine in. I would put the white wine in with after the onions have been very translucent. Okay. And the garlic, that's when I'll put the white wine in to kind of get rid of some of the alcohol.
Perfect.
And then put the tomato sauce. Okay. And
the process looks good.
And then just let it simmer very slow, no rush. And so if I'm having if I put a glass of white wine in, I may as well have a glass of white wine myself.
Yes.
Or two.
Yes, this is perfect.
And then, like on the pasta package, and it always says the time, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, etc. I always just test the pasta. But one of your colleagues told me always, if it says 10 minutes, do like 1 minute less.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah, because then you have to put the pasta in the pan.
And let it absorb the sauce.
Exactly.
So do you think this woman from Bergamo that I met in Manchester 30 years ago, do you think, based on what I've just told you, that she made a mistake by not keeping in contact with me?
Could be she made a mistake.
You're sitting on the fence again. Yes or no?
Yes, she did a mistake.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Italians out there, if you would like to experience the cooking sensation on Silly Conversation, mentally the process is there. Now you have to experience it in real life. The next time I'm going to organize something like this, I'm going to have cameras, television, Italian television, and we're going to be there. You're going to promote it as my social media manager. Is it social media manager?
Exactly.
As my social media manager, you will promote it and we will go on TikTok and we will make millions.
Millions?
Not views, just millions.
Followers. Oh, wow.
Millions of euros, 50-50 down the middle.
Oh my God, Denzel.
I mean, got to think big. And you've got to just imagine, English teacher cooks pasta live on TikTok. Huh?
This is nice. It's not something that is available on TikTok. So it's something different, what we were speaking before. You have to create something new.
And this is new.
This is new.
This is very new. Okay. Exactly. And then just in case, in terms of, the other thing which I think is also important is just put a little bit of sugar, depending on the tomatoes, to remove the acid taste, depending on the tomatoes.
Depending on the tomato, because some of them are really sweet.
You see?
Yes.
I can't believe it.
More than what I was expecting.
It's amazing. Sometimes I realize I know more than I expect. I surprise myself sometimes in many things. I surprise myself sometimes, but that's how I would do it. You see.
Great.
But then I have to admit, last week when we spoke, I did say I put sometimes if I have vermouth, I put it in the.
No, this when you told me, I said no, please. This you don't have to say. Come on.
So I do admit that sometimes I invent, but that's part of it.
This invention in Italy are not so well seen, you know.
So that would be it. And then I'm going to be interviewing a friend who was in Manchester. She's Greek. And I told her about the podcast, and she said, oh, she would like to go on it. And I thought this could be interesting. And she would tell me about the meals that she would cook for her children.
Okay.
And then she used to send me like video links about some of the meals that she would cook for her children. So now I'm a very brave person. I said, I think I could make a nice basic Italian pasta sauce, but also I could make a very nice Greek dish. I don't know the name, but it's with artichokes, potatoes, and tomato. And it's very
nice.
fantastic.
I love the Greek food.
So tune in, internet world. I should make a new section, Denzel Cooks Around the World.
Do you love Italian food? Do you have Italian friends? Would you like to cook for your Italian friends? Yes, but there's one problem. You're English. Yes, you're English. No fish and chips here. No roast beef or baked beans on toast. But we have a solution for you. You'd like to impress your Italian friends with a nice pasta sauce, but your spaghetti al pomodoro, you've used tomato ketchup. You've put raisins in a risotto. You're not sure what the difference is between gnocchi or lunghini. Figurate. But we have a course for you. An Italian cooking course for the English. A new experience, a new idea presented to you by Silly Conversations, where you have the opportunity to show off your skills and impress your Italian friends. Cook Italian if you're English. Learn the skills, learn the techniques, and learn those little tricks that only the Italians know. Whether you're cooking for Italians in the north or in the south, or your Italian friends around the world, be confident. English cooks Italian. You can learn how to cook Italian. In 4 weeks, we'll give you a comprehensive course on English cooks Italian for your Italian friends to enjoy or maybe laugh. English cooks Italian. Che figata. English cooks Italian. Che figata.
Yes. Or English lesson while cooking.
Exactly.
Or, yes?
You know, when we do this, I think I'll explain to her one of their famous Greek dishes, and she can give me a rating based on how it sounds, not how it tastes, because obviously we're online. Based on it sounds. This is a good idea before we finish. Based on how it sounds, the process I would use. People always do out of 10. I never do out of 10. Out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what I said and the process I would use, out of 5, what rating would you give me?
I will give you 4.8.
My God, 4.8. I mean, I am speechless now. 4.8. You're too generous.
Well,
Is it because
I have always to leave this bit because I cannot give you 5, of course.
No,
so
but 4.8. Is it because you're going to earn 50% of the money we make from TikTok
that's why
whilst
I
I'm
need
cooking?
to start to work about it, you know.
4.8. Well, I think I'm going to finish here because with 4.8, I mean, you can't.
You're okay. You're done for today.
I am. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this was Marianna explaining to us a little bit of everything, how influencers and these kind of social media things work, a little bit about her activities and her super daughter doing synchronized swimming, the camper van life, which I think I want to find out more, and the woman who's rated me based on what I said about a basic Italian pasta sauce at 4.8. That's very good.
I have to try before, but the process looks very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world's greatest person.
I don't know when I try. Maybe I will give you 2.
That's a different thing. At the moment, you've just made me feel so good with this 4.8. You are the world's greatest person this week. Well, 4.8, you can be the world's greatest person for a very long time.
The theory is perfect. Then you have to see the practice, So
I will endeavor to make it real. First, thank you very, very much for your time. And as always, our classes are like this anyway, because it's very energetic and entertaining, etc.
Yes.
But today was even more entertaining. Today was actually a 4.8 class.
Right.
I will catch up with you next week.
Yes.
Okay. And now I'm just going to be walking around on air.
Exactly.
So
I made your day, Denzel. I know.
You did. I mean, to be quite honest, you did. You made my day. And thank you very much.
You're welcome.
4.8.
Oh my God.
Who's the man? I'm the man.
4.8. I have to check it. I told you the theory is okay. It's perfect.
4.8. Very happy man. Silly conversations. The voices and the names have been changed in this podcast to protect the wicked. For any grammar, information, or correction, please ask someone else, not me.